Is your roof ready for winter? This is the RV Life Podcast. I'm Dan Hunt with my incredible wife, Patty Hunt, and we are here with a very special guest today because he is one of the few guests that have been on the RV Lot Podcast not once, but twice. We liked him so much, we brought him back. Now, our guest today has a promotion that'll help you get your RV ready for the winter time.
Dan and I have been full-time for over 2.5 years. We live in a 20-year-old RV, and we know maintenance and repair is just part of the RV life. We did have our roof coated, but I think we might need to get back up there and maintain it again or do something else with it. So I'm glad to have Ray back on the show.
You know, we are giving away, or we gave away at the RV Life event, a whole kit to do your roof. And those people were so excited to get that kit. They won it at the RV Life event. So we're kind of excited about that. That sound means it's time for today's fun fact, which is brought to you by Open Road Resorts with 4 great locations in Montana, Utah, and Texas.
Now, as we think about winter, Montana and Utah are not the places we want to be going, but we are making some of our plans for the summer where we want to visit Open Roads Resort and go to Montana and Utah. These are places we've not been before. And the Open Roads Resorts, I can talk, just look amazing. So we have them on our bucket list.
You know, we're talking about maintenance and we're talking about liquid rubber. And I have to say that this is one area of an RV where you really want to do the maintenance because you don't want to have it break and have water coming inside your RV because it's going to be a lot more money if you have a problem with your roof. It's going to be a lot more money if you wait till you have the problem rather than do the maintenance up front. And today we're going to talk to Ray all about that. And, you know, we're going to talk about his people and how great his people are at helping you through this process.
Okay, so let me talk about the fun fact, which I did a lot of research and I was looking to see what the cost of roof repair actually was. And as we all know that RVs, campers, they vary in size, shape, type. So the cost varied greatly. I couldn't come up with one number, but the number I came up with is roof repair could be thousands and thousands of dollars. And to maintain it sounds like a way better way to go.
It really is a way better way to go because it's not just the roof repair. If you get a leak in your roof, and we've had this happen from firsthand experience where you got water coming in around the air conditioner or whatever, it's getting all of that insulation and the roofing material that you cannot match. All of that kind of stuff just has to be replaced and you got to get it done. It's just a nightmare. So you want to take some time, go up to your roof, inspect it, take pictures of it, and then you can actually send it to Ray's customer service people and they'll evaluate it and tell you what you need to do. So that's what's really, really important. And that's what we're kind of trying to talk about here today. Now, before we bring Ray on, we have to go to one of our favorite sponsors. Actually, they are the name sponsor of the RV Life Podcast, and that is the RV Trip Wizard.
When traveling in your RV, how do you navigate? Do you use a paper map, a GPS, or do you use Google Maps? Our sponsor, RV Trip Wizard, has the solution. And it just works.
It just works. You're listening to the RV Life Podcast. I'm Dan Hunt with my incredible wife, Patty Hunt. Our guest today had a successful career in the NHL as a defenseman for the New York Islanders. He has successfully transitioned from the ice to the business world and now sits in the chair as the VP of Marketing for an international company called Liquid Rubber, serving the RV community and the Sticks and Bricks community. I believe they have a product for the Sticks and Bricks community as well. It's one of the best replacement products on the market today. And I'm saying that from the RV point of view.
Yes. And so today we have return guest Ray Schultz from Liquid Rubber, and we brought him on because we've gotten so many additional questions about what to do with your roof going into the winter. So Ray, welcome to the RV Life podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me back. Excited to be here.
Well, I'll tell you, you want to talk about excited. You talk about these people that won your kit. Now, you and I had talked when you were first on the podcast about Liquid Rubber giving us a cornhole game. And I've been talking for the last 3 months about this cornhole game and how we're going to give it away at the event. Well, miscommunication between you and I didn't get you the information fast enough, and I didn't realize that, you didn't just have those things sitting in stock. So the bottom line is you said, well, you know what? Let's just give away a Liquid Rubber kit for an RV. And these people that won that kit were so excited. It was just like we'd given them $1 million. It was the greatest thing in the world.
Yes. And people were fighting over it, actually. It was a little tough around, some people were arguing. It was a $550 kit. So we greatly appreciate your support at the RV Life Live event. But let's jump in. Let's hear how you went from the NHL to VIP of Marketing. Can you give some people some background?
He's the VP, Vice President, not the VIP, not the
VP. Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
I said I could talk, but maybe not today. I need another cup of coffee. But go ahead, Ray.
He's the VIP VP.
Yes, there you go. New title for you.
Yeah, it wasn't anything I ever thought I would have ended up in. But once I finished hockey, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. But fortunately, through some contacts from hockey, I got involved with Liquid Rubber. And it was real grassroots back then. She's close to 15 years ago. And we built this business more from a contracting, industrial, commercial point of view to more homeowner retail type of product and getting it into people's hands who have these smaller projects that they want to do around their home. I sort of got into the side of the e-commerce where we had a lot of requests on how do we get your product, and we weren't in many stores at the time. So that's when we decided to sell online, which was probably close to 10 years ago. And that was the best way to get it people all over Canada and the US and even Europe now.
Ray, talk to me for a second about your distribution system. You have a distribution system in Canada, but I believe you also have a distribution system in the US.
Yeah, we've got product kind of scattered all over North America, so it can ship to the customer generally within a couple of business days. People are getting used to wanting products right away, so you can't take 2 weeks to get product to people anymore.
I spent a good point of my life, or a good part of my life, around pro sports. Tell me what pro sports did for you to train you or get you ready to be a vice president of an international company.
I got 3 boys myself here, and I think for myself, just learning the teamwork, the hard work, you can pretty much do anything as long as you're a good person and you get along with people and you know how to work hard. I think that's what sort of carried me along. And I just sort of learned along the way, and, you figure it out. It's really just checking off 1, 2, 3, 4 whenever you're figuring out something new.
For me, I think the disciplines that I learned in sports, now I was an official, but the disciplines that I learned, that you got to get up and you got to go and you got to get in shape and you got to do these things every single day. Those have helped me throughout my entire life. Do you find that same parallel there?
Yeah, you're in the pressure cooker. I remember in one game, we were playing the Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs and, in front of 18,000 people going crazy, like the pressure that's on you to perform in those situations. I haven't really run into too many other things that are that much pressure. So you can kind of take everything within stride.
Okay, so let's jump in. I just want to, in the fun fact, we talked about the cost of roof repair. And I said it costs thousands of dollars. And Ray, you probably have a better number on that. I'd like to, for our listeners, kind of compare the idea of roof repair to the expense of maintaining your roof. That's probably a big question, but I think it's a good place to start.
Yeah, like we're seeing quotes come in $6,000-$7,000 to replace your roof when generally the roof is mostly in good condition and you don't have to tear it off and redo everything. So I think that's where we come in and we give an option for about $500 that can get you another 10 years out of your roof. And I think a lot of people would rather go down that route. They're usually pretty handy and they want to know that they did the job versus somebody else that may or may not do the best work.
Okay. So now for me, I don't know much about the roof. I'll be very honest. I've been up on the roof and it's scary. I'm a little bit afraid of heights, so I'm overcoming those fears. And again, it sounds like a way better road to go down to get up there, make sure it's in good condition, put a coating on like liquid rubber to protect it. And I'm going to go a little off here. I want to add here that dealing with people at Liquid Rubber, you've got an engineering team, you've got a customer experience team, and that is an important part of it. I know that if I had to go up and repair my roof, that I could call somebody on your team or send them a picture of my roof, send it to your customer support, and they would talk me through what I need and how to do it, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're actually becoming pretty well known for our customer support, where our tech support is in there helping people, walking them through their whole project. People are raving about being able to talk to a live person and, go through everything, any questions they have before, during, and after. It's kind of rare these days that you can actually talk to the company that makes the product and they'll help you from start to finish.
Yeah, one of the things I was really impressed with is your guys said, well, let me see that. And, I was showing them a picture of my roof. Is that something that you guys do on a regular basis, or is that something that we got a little VIP treatment there on that?
No, all the time. We encourage it because there's a lot of roofs out there and people do a lot of funky things to their roofs. So it's not just one solution for everything. Different roof types out there too. So we'd rather talk to somebody and let them know, like, yes, this is an option. No, sorry, this isn't an option. We'll tell you one way or the other, just so at least you get the answers you need.
I got the big question of the week here. Why should someone do roof maintenance before winter? And then we're going to talk about a giveaway that you're going to do, another giveaway that you're going to do.
Wait, I just want to jump in and acknowledge this is real life. Ray has a kid in the background. They're only 4, so, it'd be nice. We'll have them come in and say hi, but I just want to acknowledge real life stuff here. But
I'll tell you, if I was a little bit closer, we're in Pennsylvania right now on our way to Albuquerque, New Mexico. But if I was a little bit closer, I see behind you that Mousetrap game. That was my favorite game as a kid. I want to come to Ray's house right now and play Mousetrap.
Okay, and back to roots.
Three boys to play with you.
There you go.
But yeah, winterizing your roof, I learned firsthand myself, actually. My first motorhome I bought, I didn't quite understand that you need to look at your roof. You need to understand if there's any leaks or cracks or anything. And sure enough, I left my motorhome for the winter, and in the summer, I'm getting the water in over the cab and it's running down the walls. And I didn't even think about sealing it up before winter, because where I am in Canada, you got snow sitting all winter, you get freeze thaw, you get melts, heavy rains, all that stuff. And if you don't get it sealed up before winter, you're not going in and out looking to see if there's any water leaks all winter. So you can end up with a pretty big bill at the end of the day if you don't do it.
Okay, so I just want to add on here. You're talking about for people storing their RV. Dan and I live in our RV full time. We are heading south because we don't want to deal with the winter. And then there are people who are RVing in the winter where there's snow and things like that. They could also benefit, I would imagine, from making sure their roof is sealed. Because am I right in saying that as you change temperatures and climate goes up and down, that it could affect the roof?
Yeah, you get expansion and contraction. And, it starts with your sealants up there. They're not meant to last forever, and you get cracking. And, they might look okay today, but then a couple of months down the road, when you're not looking at it, they can open up, and that's when you get your leaks.
Now, Ray, I'm a DIY person. I do everything on my RV pretty much, other than the diesel maintenance of the diesel engine. I do pretty much everything myself. Is this product something that a DIY person can handle this, or do I need to take it to a dealer and have them install it for me?
No, it's definitely designed for the DIY, do it yourself. If you can paint, you can apply this product. It's very simple. We've got some how-to videos. We got application guidelines. We got our tech support. So if there are any questions do come up, you can get your answers pretty quick.
Thank you so much. And like everything else, we have to go to a break right now. But right after the break, we're going to be talking about how much of this product do you need to buy for your RV, how to install the product, and the best time of year to install that product on your RV. All of that is coming up right after this.
The most important part of your RV is the roof. If your roof leaks, your trip and your RV get ruined. You can take it to a dealership or service center to be maintained at their expensive rates. Or you can maintain it yourself over a weekend for a fraction of the cost. Liquid Rubber RV roof products will keep you dry and leak-free. Visit shopliquidrubber.com/RVLife. Use coupon code RVLifePod15 off to save 15%. That's shopliquidrubber.com/RVLife.
National Indoor RV Centers with over 1,000 motorhomes available across multiple locations. National Indoor RV Centers continues to provide an outstanding hassle-free motorhome ownership experience. National Indoor is the #1 Newmar dealer in the nation and also features brands like Integra, Winnebago, and much more. Visit NIRVC.com and become a part of the National Indoor RV Centers family.
You're listening to the RV Life Podcast. I'm Dan Hunt with my incredible wife, Patty Hunt. Our guest today is Ray Schultz, former NHL defenseman and now the VP of Liquid Rubber. We just listened to that commercial about your guys' commercial, and thank you so much for being a sponsor of the RV Life Podcast. We truly, truly appreciate it. And I want to point out that you can get 15% off using the code RVLifePod15, and you'll get 15% off your purchase of $50 or more. Tell us a little bit about this giveaway that we got going on. Today is September 18th, right? Something like that?
Today is September 20th.
It's September 20th.
Yes.
So 2 days ago, you guys started this big Winterize Your RV promotion. Let's talk about that a little bit, Ray.
Yeah, it's a time of year where people are putting it away for the season, and we try to get people to think about you need to seal your roof because you don't want that damage. You don't want any trips ruined. So we're giving away a full roof kit that has everything you need in it to cover up to a 30-foot RV. And if you just go to the website, shopliquidrubber.com, you'll see it right there. There'll be a little pop-up. You can get entered into it and have a look around, look at the how-to videos just to see how easy it is to do.
Now, I tell you what, one of the things that I promised before the break is the best time to, we talk about the best time to install. It's starting to get to be wintertime. Here we are leaving Pennsylvania. We're on our way to Albuquerque, and then we're down to Florida because it's just too cold up where you live. So let's talk about the best time of the year to install this roof, or can you do it when it's cold out?
No, I mean, not below freezing temperatures. It's a product that is water-based. It doesn't have any solvents or toxic chemicals in there, so you can apply it indoors or outdoors. You want to do it above 50 degrees Fahrenheit in warmer temperatures. It's not a product that can be frozen and then applied.
Okay. So now, again, I'd like to speak for the people out there that aren't necessarily as mechanically inclined or things like that. You said the product, we talked about the product covering a 30-foot RV, the kit. Ours is 40-foot. Do I have to buy a second kit or just buy extra?
Yeah, generally it's about an extra gallon of the coating for every 5 feet. So you would look at 7 gallons of the coating, and then it comes with a cleaner, a primer, the lap sealant, and a seam tape. Generally, that's enough for say, a 40-foot.
Okay. And again, I love being able to talk to real human beings. Because for me, if I'm working on the roof and I'm installing this coating of any kind, knowing that I have the support of the customer support team to say, okay, I have a 40-foot, tell me what I need, that really helps. And I really love that about your company. You're right. You said it. There are so many companies, you can't get a hold of them. Send them a message. They send you one back. So I really love that customer service. This is something that people can do themselves, but I do believe a lot of people need that support. Again, we have a 20-year-old 40-foot RV and it's got cracks and filling, and being able to send those pictures was really great to know we were doing things right. So way to go on great customer support there.
One of the things that I'd like to talk about is prepping your roof. I was talking to one of your guys and I showed him a couple of pictures of my roof, and he's like, you got some prep work to do there, man. So talk to me about how important it is to prep the roof and get it clean. You have a cleaner, an actual RV roof cleaner first that you should put on before you install the product.
Yeah, like the prep is 90% of the work. You always hear that. People don't always love to do the prep work, but in order for the products to stick and adhere properly and last a long time, that's the important part. Because otherwise, you've seen, like, say, deck paint out there that kind of peels and flakes and bubbles off. Same thing with any type of coatings, whether it's for your RV roof, painting your house. Those are all times where you need to get in there, prep it properly. You might need to use a primer that increases the adhesion. You're putting in all this time to do your roof, to do the prep right. It just makes sense. So you don't have to go back and do it in a couple of years. You want it to last for a good 10 plus years.
Absolutely. So doing it right the first time definitely sounds like the way to go. Now, again, can you just give the listeners where to go, your website to go to find out more about the products?
Yeah, just come to shopliquidrubber.com. We've got all our applications on there. So if you're interested in the RV roofs, or you have a deck, or you have a leaky roof at your home or cabin, that type of thing, we've got a bunch of different applications and products that you can check out, have a look, see if anything makes sense for you.
Great. And of course, I'll put all of that information, including the discount and the giveaway, in the show notes.
Now, as a do-it-yourself guy, I got to tell you, the videos that you have on your website are great, because it just made me feel so comfortable about the product and about putting the product on. So I have to, give it to you. You've really thought of everything out there that needs to be thought of.
Yeah, thanks. We're trying. We just shot some new commercials recently here, and we're just trying to keep improving, getting the information. We hear what the customers are saying, and it takes a little time sometimes to get that info out, but we hear what people are saying, and we're just trying to make it as easy as possible for them.
Now, Ray, we're on a podcast right now, which is just audio. There's no video out there. I'm going to link to your website, though, so people can go see these videos. But for a minute, just describe the process of installing this.
Yeah, so simply you want to get up on your roof and figure out what type of roof. There's a couple different types of roofs. The most common being an EPDM rubber roof, kind of feels like a rubber inner tube. And then there's a TPO roof or a metal roof, fiberglass roof. They're all a little bit different. And once you identify that, you look at your roof to see how your seals are around your vents and skylights. You have seams usually on the front and back of your roof. If those are in good shape, you can generally go over them. You don't have to take any of that off. If anything's sort of peeling and flaking, you want to get that off because you're only going to stick to what's on there. And then we have cleaner, clean the roof, primer, and then you do your prepping with your tape and lap sealant. And then finally your coating goes on top, and that gives you a nice white roof. Keeps your RV a little cooler too while you're down in Florida there.
And describing it, I got to be honest, it sounds like a bit of work to be done, but I think the reward definitely outweighs the work that has to be done because, as you say in your commercial, a roof leaking, is going to ruin your vacation, your time. For us, it ruins our home. So we don't want that to happen. So maintenance is definitely something that needs to be done.
No, Patty, off air, Ray and I were talking, and one thing I said that it was so easy, even Patty can do it. And that's going to be the new theme for Liquid River. It's so easy, Patty can do it.
I think I've just been insulted.
You're listening to the RV Life Podcast. I'm Dan Hunt, and we will be back right after this.
Does dropping your motor coach off at the truck stop full of semi-trailers for new tires give you nightmares? Eliminate the unknown and get your new motorhome tires mounted while you watch at your campsite or wherever you are parked. Motorhometires.com takes care of the entire process for you. We come to you with your new tires, mount them, add balance beads, and we even dispose of your old tires. With motorhometires.com, you'll also enjoy great prices and new tires with guaranteed fresh date codes and enjoy sweet dreams instead of truck stop nightmares with your friends at motorhometires.com.
Protecting your RV investment means being ready for anything. An extended RV warranty from Wholesale Warranties is the best way to make sure that if an RV failure happens, you can afford to get back to enjoying the RV life as soon as possible. RV warranties are available for motorhomes, fifth wheels, and travel trailers, new and used, across the U.S. Visit wholesalewarranties.com for a free personalized RV warranty quote today and hit the road with peace of mind tomorrow.
Patty, we just left the Hershey RV show. We spoke with Casey Tubman, who's the CEO of Newmar Corporation. And he told me one of the things that I did not put in that commercial, because it happened after we actually recorded that commercial, is NIRVC became the top Newmar dealer in the country, as well as Integra dealer in the country. So they are really doing a job and a half, and we truly enjoy Brett, Angie, and the whole team over at National Indoor. We've become a part of their family. And after Albuquerque, we're going to shoot into the Dallas, Texas store and kind of hang out with those guys for a few days as well.
Maybe we should tell them that. Brett Davis is the owner. Brett, I know you listen to the podcast. We are coming to see you the end of October in Dallas. So be prepared. And these are great people. They absolutely are.
And I just want to say that Freightliner hosted us at Hershey. So we were able to do the podcast every day in the Freightliner circus tent, basically. It was a huge tent. So Jeff, I want to thank you and your team for hosting us in there. We just had a great time. And I will tell you from the experience that we had in there, I learned so much about chassis. I didn't think chassis were important at all. You just go out, you get the best RV that you got, it's all about the paint job as far as I'm concerned. But they really taught me some things about the chassis and how important the chassis is and how important the support of a chassis company is.
Right. And so I knew even less about chassis than you did, but having the gentleman on from Freightliner that talked about it and how important it is for the RVer, it really was an incredible interview that'll be coming out over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so follow, like, share, do whatever you can, because you do not want to miss one episode of the RV Life podcast. Okay, back to liquid rubber, one of my favorite things in the whole world. We're going to put one of these new roofs on this RV as soon as we get someplace where it's not hot or it's not cold and we have some time to do it. But I'm really looking forward to it. Now, one of the things and one of the questions that I have, and a buddy of mine was actually, we were talking about this last night at dinner. The tape seams that are up there right now, we have an older unit, so it's an aluminum roof, and there's tape seams all the way down then. And that heat really gets to the glue and it crackles it up and it makes it brittle. So that kind of stuff is going to have to come off. Is that correct?
If it's loose and flaking, yeah, you want to get that up because you don't want to coat over that. It's just going to peel up.
Okay, so we do not want to go over top of that. So I'm going to have to give that one to Kurt because he said, you're going to have to take all that stuff off there. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just going to go right over top of it. But we're going to do a whole video on it and everything when we put it up there. So we'll go from there. Now, that sound means it's time for this week's RV Life Pro Tip of the Week. And our pro tip this week comes from Patrick Buchanan of RV Life.
Once you have your basic route picked out in RV Life Trip Wizard and have secured your campgrounds, it's time to add all of those other stops you want to make. At this point, you don't need those campground icons filling up your map and getting in the way. You can easily toggle the campgrounds off by clicking the small tent icon in the upper right-hand corner. This makes it easier to focus on adding fuel stops, rest stops, places to eat or things to see, anything you wish to add to your trip. Just don't forget to click it again if you need to see more campgrounds. For RV Life, I'm Pat Buchanan.
Thank you, Patrick Buchanan. I love this feature and using RV Trip Wizard since before we ever got the RV. We learned so much as we hear the pro tips, but we're also out there talking to people. We spoke in Hershey 5 days talking about trip planning and getting feedback on what's important. This feature is really important because did you know there was a such thing as people having fuel anxiety? This was something new over the last several months that's come up. People plan their trip and they don't think about the gas stops and they have fuel anxiety. Oh my goodness, I might run out of gas. So this filter feature is so important. Again, thank you, Patrick Buchanan, for sharing that.
We do not move our RV one single solitary inch without first consulting RV Trip Wizard.
Yes, and consulting we have done because we are currently have left Hershey and are currently on our way to Albuquerque. And we need to get there in about 17 days. It's 1,844 miles.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. And so RV Trip Wizard and planning on there and changing things, deleting things, adding things has just really helped us. Now, we are headed to the Balloon Fiesta, which starts October 7th. Please let us know on social media if you're going to be there. If you're in Hershey, give us a shout out. And our social media is RV Life Podcast, both on Instagram and Facebook. We'd love to hear from you.
Now, again, if you're going to be at Albuquerque, please reach out to us. We are actually going to be crewing for one of the balloons called Spirit, and we may need some extra crew members. So if you're interested in crewing at the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, that is helping us pack up the balloon and put it back in the truck after the ride and all of that kind of stuff.
You need to be in good physical shape.
You need to be in good physical shape. But we're going to be crewing for a balloon. We're going to actually record one episode of the RV Life podcast from the hot air balloon. We're going to get up in the hot air balloon and we're going to talk to the pilot about being a pilot of the hot air balloon while we're actually flying with 500 of our friends around us. So we're going to make some history there. And we're looking forward to that. We're also going to be recording the RV Life podcast from the Midway for 2 or 3 days at the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. So we're looking forward to that. And then one of our other sponsors, Escapees, invited us to come over to their tent, and we're going to do an episode of the RV Life podcast over there as well.
Yes.
So if you're not coming to the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta, sorry. But you know what? If you are coming, you're going to have a great time. It is actually one of the top 10 things I believe I've ever done in my life. And there's a video over on our YouTube channel of Patty's first flight. And her reaction to that first flight was, oh my God.
Yes. It was pretty incredible. And that YouTube channel is Exploring Through Our Lens. And you could check out some of the videos we did while we were in Albuquerque.
Now, that horn means it's time for this week's question of the week. Now, this week's question comes from social media. That's Patty's department, so I'm going to let her take it over from here.
Yes, and this question came from Frank L., and he is from Maine, and he asked how to keep mice out of his camper as it's getting colder out. That's a great question.
Well, Frank, I've got the answer for you. It's a really big cat.
That is definitely Dan's answer. We did keep Ray on. Ray is also an RVer. And, you know, the answer for most people is I just don't know. But Ray, you had a suggestion that you had heard. Do you care to share that?
Yeah, people have mentioned here bounce dryer sheets. If you kind of stuff them in and around your RV inside some of those cabinets where mice tend to get in. I heard they don't like the smell. I've never had mice in mine, so maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure.
And that's great. And what we've talked about, we actually had somebody on, Todd from National RV Trade Association. We did have him on, and we talked a little bit about this. And the conclusion over the years that I've come to is different areas, works for mice. People say Irish Spring soap. And then there are other people that'll show the mouse ate it and was okay with it, liked it. So this is one of those problems. Again, if you have solutions that you've used, please reach out on social media. Let's share with the community what's worked, because sometimes you just have to try a number of things. Dan and I have had mice in the RV. And I think we had mice in Virginia, but we left them there. Yeah. And as we're here in Pennsylvania, I'm not seeing them anymore. Also keeping food like bread. I have popcorn kernels that they love. Keeping those things in plastic sealed containers. Thankfully, I've never had a mouse, chew at it and get in. So different solutions. Let's share with each other. This is one of those questions that it's trial and error. I've heard the bound sheet things as well. Some people say poison. Some people say don't do that. We'll probably get a lot of comments on that, or get a cat, like Dan said.
Well, Ray, I want to thank you for being our guest today on the RV Life podcast, not for the first time, but for the second time. You are in a very, very, very small club of, I think, 2 people that have just been on the RV Life podcast twice in this first year. So thank you so much for spending some time with us. For all of you out there, hit that follow button at the bottom of your screen so you don't miss any of the interviews or any of the people that we talk to. It's at the top of the screen.
It's at the top. It's actually at the top of the screen. But I guess, so we're on Apple, Spotify, all of your podcast platforms. I know I use Apple, and the follow button's at the top, but find the follow button, hit the follow button so you don't miss anything that we have coming, especially those interviews from Hershey. They were amazing.
They really were. And
our guests were amazing is what I should say. I'm not patting myself on the back. Our guests were amazing.
We did. And if you're not thinking about at least going up on your roof and taking a look at what you got, then you should be.
Yes. Taking pictures.
Take pictures.
Send it to the support team.
Yeah, send it to the support team. They're not going to try to oversell you. They're just going to give you what you really, really need. So that's really, really important as we move forward. You are listening to the RV Life podcast. I'm Dan Hunt with my incredible wife, Patty Hunt, saying to you, have a great rest of today.
And an even better day tomorrow.